Hi everyone. Thank you to be here in this another speech with experts of AI and all the technical companies in the world today. And now we are so interested because we are gonna talk with Javier Villegas. Javier Villegas is a so interesting profile that we are so happy in the hackathon to have it, because his profile is very multidisciplinary with many experience. He's a IT director at DBA and BI Services in the Mediterranean shipping company, and he has so experience in IT direction, administration, performance tuning, high availability and disaster recovery. Javier has many experience in Microsoft MVP data platform, and today he's gonna be here to talk about Microsoft Fabric. And welcome Javier.
Hi Javier, how are you? How are you doing?
Very good. Very happy with your name, because I'm introducing myself a little bit. You know? Hi Javier.
It's easy to pronounce, right?
Yeah. And how are you? How are you locally?
I'm doing okay. I'm in Buenos Aires, Argentina, right now, where I live and where I work from. So yeah.
I have to trip to there. I have to have a plane and go to Buenos Aires.
Definitely.
Yeah, and okay, and today we are so happy because you're here. We will talk about Microsoft Fabric and every experience that you have. And well, for me, the most important at the beginning is for the people who doesn't have any idea about Fabric. What is Microsoft Fabric?
Okay, good. It's actually a good introductory question, just to start describing a little bit this solution. So if you can share the screen, so we start with some introduction. Well, first of all, Microsoft Fabric was announced last May in the Microsoft Build conference. This is a developer conference in where Microsoft announced this new solution, right, that we will be describing today. It is announced as a public preview, right? So everybody can jump into it and start getting involved, playing, doing some labs, etc., free of charge, right? And learn, right? This is the interesting part. So Microsoft Fabric is an end-to-end unified analytic platform that brings together all data and analytics tools that an organization nowadays need, right? It's provide a one-stop shop for data integration, data engineering, real-time analytics, data science, business intelligence, without compromising the privacy and security of your data. It's important to mention that security and privacy nowadays are key things in any project that we do. Right? So with this new solution, we can establish a unified source of truth by bringing together all the analytics workplace into a lake-first centric foundation. Right? All the teams within the company also will be able to reduce the time and effort that takes to uncover impactful insight through democratized access to data. Right? And this can be done confidentiality through a secure governance solution. Right? So it's important to also consider Fabric as a set of tools, right? Imagine Microsoft Office for productivity, right? But Microsoft Fabric is for data. In Office, we see Excel, Word, Outlook, PowerPoint, all these solutions that we've been using kind of forever, right? Fabric is the same, but for data analytics, right? What does it mean? If we would like to uncover our data as we do for productivity, right? We have nowadays, or let's say before Fabric, we have different solutions within the Azure platform, the Azure data platform, actually. Synapse Analytics, Data Factory, Power BI, right? Many different solutions that are available, that are still available, but in order to build a data platform for analytics solution, you have to combine and do maybe a complex architecture. Nowadays, with Fabric, right, you have everything together in one single solution. Also, like we have in Office, in where we have OneDrive, right? The OneDrive is where we store all the documents, and then from all the applications, right, all the Office application, we consume. We can save data, retrieve data, etc. For Microsoft Fabric, we have a similar concept, which is called One Lake, right? One Lake is the OneDrive, but for Fabric. What can we do with One Lake, right? Microsoft Fabric stores all the data in an open standard format within One Lake, right? So we will ingest the data into our One Lake, right? And then from all the Fabric components, we will be consuming this data, consuming, storing, updating everything, right? So it's a layer of different products and solutions that now are combined in a single solution, in where we can have compute from one side, unified storage for the data that we will be using, right? And most important, and for the very first time, in an open standard format, which is Delta Parquet, right? This is a standard that the whole data industry used to store and manipulate data. So it's now the default format for One Lake. So in few lines, this is what Microsoft Fabric is. A unified solution for all the analytics that we have or we want to do in our company.
No, so interesting. And in a concrete cases, what can we do? What can we do with Microsoft Fabric? If I have a company about data, or if I have a company about not data but maybe software development, but without AI or without big data, can Microsoft Fabric adapt to the different companies? What can the both companies do in concrete solution with Microsoft Fabric?
Let's say that nowadays you have your data analytics solution, which basically will be stored in a lake-centric format, a data lake in any of the other solutions that we have, even within Microsoft or a third-party company, right? This concept of One Lake, right, which again store the data in an open format, is also important because in any of the, let's say, standard solution that we have nowadays, or one of the most common situation in an analytics solution is that you have to duplicate data for a specific solution. Let's say that within your company you have a department that is doing data science, plus the other one are doing analytics or business insight or any other approach. Nowadays, what is common sense is to have different copies of the same data. With Microsoft Fabric and with One Lake, right, you have a single copy of the data that you can utilize through all the different approaches that you may have within your solution. It is interesting because you have a concept that is called shortcut, right? Let's say that you have a workspace in where you are doing data science, right? And then you have another workspace in where other area of your company is doing data warehousing, right? The only thing you have to do is just create a shortcut of the single copy of the data that you have, and both workspaces will see and access the data seamless without having to duplicate the data. This concept of shortcuts is quite interesting because you can also refer to data that is stored in another cloud vendors like Amazon or Google without having to copy the data into your solution, right? It's super important because again, it's if you don't have to duplicate your data, it's easy to maintain, and definitely the life cycle of your projects, having a single copy, a single source of truth of your data is one of the key elements to have a unified analytics solution.
Yeah, and in this environment about the hackathon, the Talent Global Hackathon 2023, that we are working with how AI can solve or can help to the best solution for good social impact solutions and environment and ecologies. How Fabric use AI or can be used by AI?
Okay, it's an interesting question. We saw in the presentation when Satya Nadella present or announced Fabric, that is Microsoft Fabric, the solution in the AI era, right? So how does AI applies to this, to everything that is what we just said nowadays, right? On any projects that you have related to analytics, you have data ingestion, right? You have to, get the data from different sources, store it, and do, the architecture or the project that you need to do: data science, data warehouse, analytics, business insight, etc., etc., etc. Then you have to, let's say, present the outcome, the result, to either another system, right? Or you can use something to render the reports that you are getting through the insight of that data. For example, Power BI, right? With Power BI nowadays, you can, get a lot of, reports and dashboards based on the data that you are processing within your solution, right? Power BI is now part of Fabric, right? So what you can do with Power BI, right, is, build your reports as you know it, right, and present it to, like, let's say, statics report. But then there is a caveat here. Nowadays is the AI era, right? We are kind of used to hear this notion of Copilot in the Microsoft world, right? Copilot for Microsoft 365, Copilot for Windows, Copilot for Dynamics. Well, now there is a Copilot for Power BI. What can we do with this Copilot for Power BI? I would like to use a short video to introduce the topic, and then we will discuss a bit more. So if you allow me, let's see this short video, and we'll talk in a minute.
Introducing the next generation of AI in Microsoft Power BI. Copilot in Power BI empowers your people to unlock the full potential of your data and move from data to insights faster. Now, with Copilot in Power BI, you can use natural language to bring your data to life. Simply describe the visuals and insights you're looking for, and next generation AI will create your report and help you refine it. You can then dig into this data further by asking a question, and Copilot will find the best answer. Not only does Copilot help you visualize your data, but it taps into Power BI's advanced analysis capabilities to help you find key influencers and outliers and create forecasts. Copilot can summarize your data into easy-to-understand text narratives that help others quickly get important and relevant insights. And for analysts who are creating calculations and modeling data, you can simply describe what you want, and the code is automatically generated. With Copilot in Power BI, turning data into impact has never been easier.
So turning data into insight, right? With Copilot for Power BI, you will be able to interact with Power BI using natural language to get inside of your data, right? So instead of writing, I would say, statics report, static dashboards with Power BI, which of course will go to the live data that you have in your Fabric solution. Now you will have the possibility to interact with natural language. So you just ask your question, which were the sales in the last 3 months, right? And you're gonna get the insight, and you will, have your drawing there. You can ask, oh, I would like to get it in a charge file, and you're gonna get on a different insight. What are the predictions for the next 3 months on a specific sales area, right? So any insight that you would like to do with your own data, you can correlate it and, just talk to Power BI, right? So this is amazing. This is, as I mentioned at the beginning, in preview, right? So, it's super interesting, right? For me, being able to, beside the ingestion part for Fabric, the storage, the processing, the different approaches, right? Being able to use Power BI to, have this copilot thing at the top of it for, an additional help is huge.
And what are the next steps, the future? Okay,
so what I foreseen for this is, first of all, as I mentioned, this is still preview. Hopefully soon we will have the general availability of Microsoft Fabric available, so everybody can use it as a supported service, right? This is important to mention that this is software as a service, right? So you don't have to install anything; it's all provisioning in the cloud, and you use it from there. So the first thing that I foreseen is, well, as I said, seeing it as GA. Then probably there's gonna be more integration with third-party companies, right? I just mentioned Google, I mentioned Amazon to get the data. So I foreseen more third-party tools getting into the Fabric ecosystem, right? Another thing that probably I see in the future is the possibility to have a seamless integration, synchronization, or whatever we would like to call it, with operational data sources, right? Let's say you have your operational databases, call it, SQL, Oracle, Cosmos DB, you name it, right? Being able to have a pseudo real-time synchronization within Fabric, so you can do analytics using real-time data, right? So definitely those are the things that I see in the future, and I would like to have, of course, right? As part of the Microsoft MVP program, I've been part of the Microsoft Fabric testing since day one, actually part of the private preview, and definitely this is maturing and this is going so fast. And well, hopefully we have it available soon for everybody to use it. Right? I may have an additional slide, so in where I present few links. So if the attendees here would like to get involved, start using the free trial as public preview, aka.ms/try-fabric. So in there you can, with your Microsoft account, you can get the 60-day trial. There are also a webinar series in where you can learn the different approaches and do certain, you can use like a sandbox to use and do certain labs. And there are more and more coming, so definitely you can start from this point, right? So as I said, I leave it available for everybody to use it, and free of charge for now. So get started with Fabric today.
Yeah, thank you very much by the links. So interesting. I'm so excited to prove it. When we finish the hackathon, that it's so much work for the teams right now, this weekend, and for the jury, for the speakers as you. Thank you very much to be here. Next week, I will go to Microsoft Fabric and see all of the links that you share. And thank you very much, Javier, to have you here. So interesting. Thank you to share the information about Microsoft Fabric. And well, next time we see each other in person in Buenos Aires.
Sure, definitely. Looking forward for that.
Thank you. Bye, Javier.
Thank you. Bye.